speak very well. Then she said, oh, I like essential fatty acid. So I let her explain why she loves essential fatty acid, why she's here today. I'm sure she has a story to tell. So I'll leave this time, this section for her to share with us. Can we give a very big hand for Dr. Grace? She's a very humble doctor. I love her so much. Thank you.
Hi. Put the first slide. Hi everybody. I've got actually the best slot after lunch when everybody is nice and happy and going to sleep. Alright? Yeah. And I also and I'd like to thank Professor Ho if he's around. And because, you know, he took the burden of the more medical terminologies and how to explain about the essential way in which the seed would work. So I've got a good slot. Like how Rachel said, I asked her for a lock, but she got me the seed. Yeah? So she was actually to me, Rachel is a simple person. And that is the reason why I like her. Because, you know, I'm also very, like, no airs about me. And today, you know, since Professor Ho has already touched a lot on how rain works and so on, I have only 10 slides. And I've named my my session today as treating with soul. And when I say treating with soul, first I mean, of course, treating with the soul seed, the product. But the second thing is that I wanted to tell everybody that you have to make this business of yours with soul. You need to treat this item as if it has a soul. You see, we all have souls. It's all invisible, right? Our body is the visible part of our soul. And so, if your soul, everybody understands what I'm saying? Yes. So, when your body and if your soul, like, you know, is rotten, what appears in your physical part will be the same. So you need to treat the soul, but you also need to treat this business as if it has a soul. So that is why Rachel always knows. When she brought me the first set of pamphlets, and it had all these things about testimonies in it, I said, take it away from me, I don't need this. I can't talk to anybody saying this person's skin became better in this much, and, you know, this many days and all that, you know. I can't do, I'm a doctor, I'm a medical doctor, I need more than this. I don't want these pamphlets, I chased her away from my clinic.
Oh, in the dustbin.
So, you know, later I came to meet Susie, and Susie was actually the one who really told me all about the soul. And I decided to actually test it upon myself. Actually, now I have 2 kids. If I had the chance of having rain many years ago, I would have had 6 kids. The reason is because I had 4 miscarriages, you know, and I have only 2 kids. And I'm thinking, you know, with the way Susie explained to me and when I tested it upon myself and then I saw the results, I said, if only I had this product, I would have had 6 kids today. You know, that's how it is. So what happened was, I took the packet of rain. I said, okay, I will consume this. I did my blood test, and I don't want to go into too much of technical things. Usually, inflammation in a very simple way would be to test one of the blood indices is ESR. I used to have on all my yearly blood checks a higher than usual ESR, which means to say you see the normal is up to 15. I would be having say about 29, 30, and my platelet counts used to be always on the higher side of normal. Our platelet count used to be 250 to 400, and mine would be close to 400. And so these are all the things that actually indicates that there is inflammation going on. The blood is very sticky inside your body. So what happened was I saw the rest of my results basically are not too bad. These two indices, was my trouble actually since my days when I was trying for children and so on. So then I was taking it even irregularly. I didn't even take it once a day. Sometimes I'll forget 2 or 3 days. I wasn't really like, into it. The soul had not connected yet. So, I just like chin-chai, like that, take 1, 2, sometimes forget 2, 3 days. I did it for 3 months. And then I checked my blood again. And to my shock, my platelet count, which has never seen any proper levels, was down to about 200. And my ESR levels have never seen before below 15, was about 12. And then I was convinced, even just like that, I just looked at my blood test and I said, see, definitely it has improved the inflammatory processes inside my body. So that's when I said, okay, I'm a hardcore medical person. I have not a single direct selling item inside my clinic. I chase away everybody who come and tell me, doctor, if you take this 1 capsule is equal to 7 vegetables and 10 fruits, and all these things. We had lots of people trying to enter our market to try and give these products. But nothing, touched me as the soul did. Because something about it, I was drawn to it, was that the fact that it was cold pressed, the fact that it was seed, and all the seeds were actually inside the product. From the husk down, everything was inside. So I was pretty convinced, and so that's when 3 years ago I started to use rain on my patients. So I wanted to tell everybody here that you need to understand this product on a slightly deeper level before you become successful business people. Rachel and Susie knows that. I hate the business aspect of it. I only like the nutritional aspect of it. Because that's the way I am. That's the way I do my medical practice. But, something about a little benefits for everybody who's doing business is good for them, like how Susie said, is financial freedom and so on. But you have to be treating with soul. You have to have that knowledge inside you. That's when the people are going to click with you. Because, when you see, if you go and choose a 20-year-old girl who's just joined her work somewhere and tell them that, if you do this, you just only look for 5 people, 6 people, like that, like this, like that, like that. How long do you think so they're going to last? What are they going to tell their people? What kind of experiences are they going to tell their downliners? So you see, there is no soul when you do business like that. You need to have a soul to do this business. I have a singer, you know. My favorite singer is Bob Dylan. He's actually a poet and a singer. He says, I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. You know? So you see, that's the thing. That's how deep the soul is, you see. You have to give the essential things about soul to your people, educate them, and then your business will take over. So that's why, as for me, I'm not too interested in the business part. I'm very, very into the medical part. So I've just said my experiences. So Professor Ho, you touched a lot on the scientific part of the seed. I had a few slides with me, so I think I just will run through. Because there are three main aspects. You see, my Chinese is a little poor, but you know, I used to say, Fat Yin. Everybody knows what is Fat Yin. You see, the whole body's illness, everything comes down to Fat Yin. Cardiovascular disease is originated from Fat Yin, because your arteries are blocking up, not because you have high cholesterol, no, because you have Fat Yin. The cholesterol is just moving along in the blood, waiting to go to all its necessary places, but it gets stopped by this inflammation that is going on inside your arteries. And it's like this, you see, it's common sense, it's common logic. If you have a straight rod, and this guy is just, and there is a kind of like a luca, you know, what do you say, luca, like a wound on the artery, definitely the platelet's job is to plug. The cholesterol, like LDL, is happily going along, when suddenly he gets deviated to the spot of the inflammation. And then he gets stuck, and he moves one step deeper, and he lays there trying to fix the plug, and more come and join him, and they all will result in this atherosclerotic plaque. So at the end of the day, when you look at it, everything is Fat Yin. You know, the Fat Yin is causing every disease in your body. And the other thing is our oxidative stress. So you see, I have taken out the slide from the RAIN thing, where they have done the test on anti-inflammatory assay for RAIN. So when they induced Fat Yin into the cells, then they put in the compound that they are testing it in, then they measure. And they find that 33% inhibition. Inhibition means stopping the cell Fat Yin. Alright? 33% of the Fat Yin is reduced. Alright? Am I right, Susie?
Yes, absolutely.
33% of the Fat Yin is reduced. See, I want all of you are non-medical people, you understand it in the simplest form. Alright? And they also said that there was no toxicity. That means, as a result of this soul seed being given to the cell, there was no side effects, in other words. So, that is their first test which they did. And so, you know, inflammation, like I said, simplified is everything. From diabetes to Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is from the brain to the joints, to anemia, and your immune system. Everything is Fat Yin. So, does seed have a role to play in this? Yes, it is. You saw in the earlier test, it reduces fucking by 33%. So it has a big role to play in all this. That is why we say that Professor Ho rightly said, you don't heal, but you help the healing process. All right? So it's not like you take rain and everything is going to disappear like a medicine, like over a few weeks, you see. So now, the next essay was antioxidants. Now this is actually a new era where people are talking about oxidative stress, free radicals, all these kind of things. I hope as RAIN people, you all must understand in the simplest form. Oxygen is supposed to be good for us, right? Then why they say the free radical oxygen is bad for you? Then somebody asks you that, what are you going to say? Oxygen is supposed to be good for you, ma. But the thing is that oxygen is supposed to be in pairs, like a married couple. But when they are as single fellas or in other forms, they walk around, then they stick to another person and cause trouble. You see, choosing the wrong partner and causing trouble. So that is what is free radicals all about. You know, so antioxidant. So when they checked this essay was done. Actually, I took the full slide. Then I was thinking, oh my God, this full slide is going to confuse everybody. I just took the end results. So when they checked for antioxidants, there is a good reduction of free radicals to the average, and no toxicity was found. So now, seed is also an oxidant, antioxidant. Now, we all have to understand that's why I said this selling of this you need soul. You need your soul to sell this soul. The reason is, you must understand, you cannot go and tell anybody, the 3 seeds inside your rain is the only antioxidant in this world. No! That's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. So, you have to help them in lifestyle changes, in eating more natural food, close to natural at least, because you know, all of us are having all these antioxidant, this oxidative stress from pollution, from pesticides, from trans fats, from smoking, and all these other things are there for this oxidative stress. So you can't say, you know, you take 3 of my seeds inside here and then you will be the best person in the world. No. You see or not? That's why when I said when you treat, you must treat with soul. The thing is not only talk about soul, but also talk about the fullness of a good, healthy lifestyle. That is the only way we can actually help these customers understand. Because like saying black sesame seed, is it black sesame seed, or our grape seed, all these things are specialized antioxidants. They are all very potent antioxidants. So you take them as a medication, like, you know, you take them twice a day, thrice a day, and so on. But that does not mean that antioxidants are not there in other foods. It's there in other foods. So I wanted to just go a little bit on this, and so I brought down this slide, which is actually just explaining what these free radicals do. These free radicals, or we call them the reactive oxygen species, they walk around waiting to donate that free oxygen to somebody else. Then they will attack these macromolecules and all kinds of other things, lipids, nucleic acids, proteins, and you see that all kinds of diseases like diabetes, age-related eye disease, neurodegenerative disease like Parkinson's, all come around because of this free radicals producing oxidative stress. All right, so this one you must understand, this one. Then, of course, now the third and the most interesting thing for seed is that they did this essay on this enzyme. This pathway is actually a very important finding in our medical faculty, because this actually produces longevity. That means this is the pathway for long life, you see? And they found out from the testing of seed that there's a 62% increase in the stimulation of this enzyme sirtuins, Actually, sirtuins are there everywhere. In our human, we call it SRT1. There are SRT2, 6, 7, all this. But this anti-aging enzyme, they found there's a 62% increase in the stimulation. Actually, this is where the exciting picture of soul comes. Because everybody wants to live to 150. That's for sure. And actually we can, you see, if we follow. So I'm just explaining this, this enzyme. Actually, this is like a connector, This enzyme is like a connector. It regulates between endocrine. Endocrine means is the smallest powerhouses in your body. Usually all in this big arm you can do without it. But without one of that small powerhouses, you might be a very sick person or might not be alive. So it is that molecular link that between the nutrition. That means you take seed and it induces this enzyme, and then the other next process in all the other parts of your body will be enhanced. So this is a very, very interesting finding, and you can see here, by increasing this enzyme, you can reduce the inflammation in the heart, can be cardioprotective, it will reduce the inflammation. You see or not, everything is fadim and all. You realize that or not? Most of it is fadim. It decreases the inflammation in the bowels, in the lungs, in the liver. It actually enhances insulin secretion. The beta cells are more protected, and you can see in, for example, in Alzheimer's in the brain, the degenerative disorders are all decreased. In skeletal muscles, you can better insulin, because now when you see type 2 diabetes, it's not because we don't have enough insulin, because the insulin uptake is not there. So it will increase the insulin uptake. So with this one enzyme enhancement by 62% will help in all these diseases. So you see how seed is actually doing the job. So with that 2 tests now, we know that it's really a very powerful agent. Seed is a powerful agent because of the test. This one I will I'll forego, because it's a bit more. Like the professor from David Sinclair from Harvard said, if we find that aging isn't a reversible affliction that we thought it was, now some of us can live up to 150. And he goes on to say that we need more research. Now, we find that soul, there's 3 things now. One is oxidation, reduced radical activity. The second one is Fadim. This is the formation of that Fadim factor. And the third one is increasing the enzymes that enhances the health of most organs, and hence giving you long life. So 3 important areas in which soul acts. let me see what's my next slide. Okay, this one I'm going to stop here. But because you know why? Has everybody seen this slide online? No, this is the slide that Susie played in a short form, but it's not that slide that they did on stage, but she explains quite well. How do you start this, Jared? Very, very interesting, this slide. Actually, probably that person has blood like mine, you know, before I started rain, you can see. It's somewhere down there. Yeah, okay. She did the analysis 15 minutes, half an hour, and 1 hour after taking rain.
This is the first blood sample of someone that has not had the rain product. As you will see, the little bubbles flying by are the red blood cells. They're supposed to be free and clear of one another. They can touch, but you don't want to see a lot of overlapping.
Overlapping.
Some of these cells are kind of linked together as they go by. That's due to poor protein digestion. The big white glob there in the center is a white blood cell. Looks a little small.
It's small.
Not really formed very well.
And it's a bit irregular.
So this lets me know that this person is probably very acidic, not digesting food very well. The shininess inside the red blood cells, the bubbles,
Okay.
lets me know that they're not actually getting the oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. Because that's the function of the red blood cells, is to carry the oxygen.
You see this? That one is the shining thing
There's a
on it.
lot of trash
Yeah.
of the blood plasma, which is the background of the blood. So this is the first stick. Lets me know that this person is having some digestive problems, therefore leading to some serious, probably health problems, because the body's just not being nourished. I'm going to take the soul product now and then wait a few minutes and see what we find then.
15 minutes.
Okay, here we see the
And you
blood
see
15 minutes after taking
that's
the soul product.
15 minutes is very, very, very amazing.
More clear.
More clear, more circular.
Don't see a lot of overlapping. Here we see a couple of white blood cells, maybe a little bit larger. You see several of them in one.
Some of them have left each other.
That
Can you
lets me
see?
know that
They're not overlapping. They're still sticking, but not overlapping.
So here's two together. You see they have more shape, more form. The holes inside the white blood cell are normal. That's what we want to see. But I'm most impressed with the size and the shape of the red blood cells as they move out throughout the blood plasma. So we'll check again. This is 15 minutes after taking the soul product. I want to look again in 30 minutes after taking the soul product and see what we see then.
This is 30 minutes after.
Okay, here you see the blood 30 minutes after taking the rain product.
Can you
As
see
you
they're
can see,
all
the
together?
red blood cells, which are the round bubbles, are free and clear of each other. They're touching, but they're not sticky and overlapping. In the center, we see another white blood cell,
This
and
is the
it's
white
in
one.
form. The white blood cell actually moves around throughout the blood, seeking bacteria, red blood cells that are malformed, which are your free radicals. And
So
they
what does this say? Actually, it says that the seed
blood, or they
improves the health of each individual red blood corpuscle, as well as increasing the activity of the white blood cells.
It's going parasites, that type of thing that's going on in the blood. This is a great improvement from the first stick.
From my clinic, and I'll talk about them. Like, there was a patient, say about 52 years old. She had diabetic retinopathy. There are a few areas where I target with the seed. That is, my favorite is skin. My husband is a dermatologist, but you know, my husband is not yet a full seed believer. So whenever I get the chance, I will put the seed in. So into his patients, you know, sometimes they accidentally fall into my room. And so my favorite areas are eyes, definitely I will tell them to use. The other thing is that skin, neurological problems, and the other thing which I use a lot is fertility. So for me, you know, the first was my case where I've said that probably I would be having 6 kids now instead of 2. And the diabetic eye was about 52 years old. She was having a diabetic retinopathy. She was on follow-up with Isaac. Isaac is in Mega Mall, no? All the big-time eye surgeons and other people are ophthalmologists. And so she had actually taken 1 injection into the eye, but we put her on rain. And we put her on rain 2 packets to 3 packets a day. And after 6 months, when she went back to the eye doctor, and Dr. Fong, you know, Dr. Fong from Isaac, he was like shocked to see her eye had actually become very stable with no loss of vision, but the diabetic spot was still there. And so she kept on taking the rain, and every year, every 6 months, she was going for follow-up until Dr. Fong said, hey, your eyes are damn stable, you go back, come back after 1 year, I'll check you again. And she's been on his follow-up ever since. And we have 1 patient with multiple sclerosis who was being treated at Glen Eagles, and multiple sclerosis is actually ultimately leading to muscle weakness and, you know, inability to walk and all that. And to our surprise, when we started her on rain, she's been discharged to be on a wheelchair and so on. We started her on rain. I mean, because you see, she went to the top specialist and that's about all they could do for her. She was on medications. We put her on rain, and she's been consistently coming and taking the rain. She's happy. She is much stronger. I won't say that she's recovered 100%, but she is definitely happy with the improvement. She went into severe depression, and so with all that, she had improved markedly. And the funny cases would be later. Infertility, I have many cases. So now, whenever I treat infertility, because between me and my husband, I do most of the ladies' work. I'm not a gynecologist, but I've been trained a lot in my training years in gynae, so I do a lot of what we call office gynecology. So I treat simple infertility cases, and nowadays I actually put a seed to lay the foundation first before I start my infertility treatment. The reason is, again, to actually have lowered inflammation in your body. You get better results with infertility. I can see, like offhand, I can give you cases like, you know, they had a baby, after 4 or 5 years, no more babies coming, you know, they don't know what's happening. We just put them on rain. Some of them are like, just after 1 box they conceived. You know, just after 1 box they conceived. And actually that also I'm like, I myself, I can't believe it. I don't know whether it's my rain, the seed or something else. Because it's so quick. And I have about 3 to 4 patients secondary infertility, which means to say they have one baby, then this time lapse, they can't have another one. Probably, something about the stresses in their body has led to inflammation and all this oxidative stress and so on. So, we don't produce eggs that are healthy. The husband, of course, none of us are treating the husbands for the time being. I have to get there because, guys are the worst infertility patients. They'll always say, no, I had one already, so I'm not going to go take rain to have another one. So, that part I need to cross. But infertility, I've got lots of stories to tell about infertility, and so that's one. The recent case was just about a few months ago on depression. Dr. Ho went so many slides on depression. I was thinking, yeah, just rightfully for my next patient. She went on a severe depression, all because the MACC was investigating their office. So that's real stress. She went on a severe depression and went on later to get admitted in Damansara Specialist Center. And she was put on all the antidepressive drugs. And she is a die-hard patient in my clinic. I used to joke with my husband, she's got a fatal attraction for you. You know what? Everything is Dr. De Silva. I must discuss with Dr. De Silva. One day, she accidentally fell into my room, and I was the one who introduced rain to her. I said, you take this. You don't worry. You take this. And later, when I saw her the second time, she's already taken it and improved, and she has gone off all her medication and antidepressants because her psychiatrist in Damansara was asking her, what did you do? You are like, she's getting 8 hours of sleep, she doesn't have any problem, she's got a good morning, she carries on. He asked her, what is this? She took the product and gave it to the psychiatrist. And now the psychiatrist, apparently she told me now the psychiatrist says that there is one medication, but if you want, you need to go to Dr. De Silva's clinic in Charas. She actually came and told me that, so. And I was thinking, this is really a girl with fatal attraction. She's almost forgotten that I was the one who gave her the rain. She only remembers that my husband has been giving her the rain. So she's completely well. She's off all medications. So something or not. So like how Dr. Ho puts it, the stress has got all these hormones that are affected, and these people will be exhibiting all the symptoms of depression and almost going into psychiatric conditions and be put on all kinds of medications by the psychiatrist. And it actually really bleeds me when I see these people on antipsychotics. The children, hyperactive children, put on all kinds of medications. I mean, it's simple logic. There's something missing in the brain. There's something damaging the brain. That's the reason why this person is like this. You need to address the underlying source and not just cover all the symptoms that the patient is exhibiting. So these are some of the cases which I've taken out of my clinic, but I'm using a lot of rain in my clinic, and I'm happy to say that actually Dr. De Silva now uses more rain than me because he's a dermatologist, but he doesn't very much admit to, that's been the success story behind his patients. So if I want to say anything now is that small organs like thyroids, pituitaries, like Dr. Ho or Prof. Ho said, pituitary gland, thyroids, the pineal gland, the parathyroid glands. Now, what is happening to all these glands are, they are all being clogged by our trans fats and our oxidative stress. Our oils are all bad. So that's why they say put good oil in and take the bad oil. For me is that if we can make the small glands, the endocrine glands work for us, you don't need to worry about your weight, you don't need to worry about diabetes, high blood pressure, or anything. We call that homogenesis. That means you make your you make your glands do the work for you. Because so you nourish the glands. All the glands will be nourished by essential fatty acids. Essential fatty acids is a prerequisite for all endocrine glands. The reason why all of us are putting on weight, all of us seem to be like so tired, we are unable to perform as well. Infertility among male patients are on the rise. All this is mainly because our endocrine glands are not working optimally. If you have to get them working, you will lose weight, you will get well, everything, because these powerhouses are very important. I want to end my talk there. You have to tell all your patients that make your own body do the work for you. You see or not? You don't have to have something. So how do you make? Because we are in constant attack by all the free radicals, pesticides, everything. So we need these special antioxidants to stimulate our endocrine glands. Like they say, good oils in, bad oils out. It is what it essentially is. Actually, homogenesis. You put the good oils in, the good antioxidants in, make your own body work for yourself. You don't need anything else, really. You need to look after all the little organs inside your body. Right, thank you.
What I love about Rain is we're the first company to focus 100% on seeds, and we're going to the source of nutrition, the seed.
In human physiology, there are actually 12 vitamins that your body requires every day. There's 17 minerals that your body requires every day, 9 essential amino acids, and some essential fatty acids. And the unique feature about seeds, it contains all 4 of those areas.
And the thing that I love about Soul is it's very simple. It's based on a couple main ingredients, the black cumin seed, the black raspberry seed, the Chardonnay grape seed, and D-ribose. That's it, but obviously we use the whole seed. There's a synergistic effect with this product that really people can feel and people can experience as they get on it, and it's powerful.
story of seeds begins at a time when the earth was covered in disparate communities, isolated by mountain, seas, and deserts. Seed is the most celebrated and protected of all natural elements. For thousands of years, ancient cultures have centered rituals around seeds as a sacred element and giver of life. At Rain International, we've sourced the very best seeds, and one stands out. The black cumin seed, revered by the Egyptians, Persians, and Greeks for its powerful medicinal qualities. Seeds encapsulate Mother Nature's recipe for life and vitality. Black cumin seeds are the ultimate version of this recipe. This extraordinary combination of essential fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins is, in essence, the most pure and powerful form of nutrition ever created. Thanks to modern science, we've uncovered the secret to harnessing the power of black cumin seed. Now you too can experience the benefits. Discover seeds, discover health, discover soul.